Whoa, look at that.
Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I am Phil.
I'm Julie. How are you?
Are you up to asking me or that?
Yeah.
I'm primed up. It is the holiday season. It is Advent, and it's been too long since we did one of these.
Well, I was going to say it's been a long time since we heard that intro music playing.
Been a minute indeed. And you, look, we're so thrilled that there's so many of you in here already. Rusty, Kathy, that's not a surprise.
No.
No.
I love our community.
Absolutely. Mary S. in the house. Ruby Hart 921, great to see you. And Sugar Kitty, of course. Eric Gunderson in the house. Jeff Perkins, let's go ahead and do this here. Everybody knows it's coming.
Everybody knows.
The finest avatar in all of Whiskey Tube. Rich is in the house. Good to see you too. Well, I just want to start off tonight by saying a couple of things. First off,
do we sound okay?
Yeah.
Because we're still trying to figure out the space right now.
Doing the best we can here. We got a lot of lights on us tonight. We're trying to look good for you. I love your Santa Paws style, by the way.
It is because we're kicking off Advent and we're kicking off the holiday season, and I feel pretty excited about it.
Love it. And we've got bottles behind us. We tried to
jazz it up.
Yeah, we're bourbon vanning it up here in Chicago. So thanks to everybody here who's joining us. And Chad Kaczynski in the house. Great to see you too. One more thing that I want to say as we're getting started here is a quick shout out to the whiskeychannel.com, our friends David and Kira. Kira under the weather.
Yeah, I hope you feel better.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Absolutely. And come back soon. They're not on tonight. They're not live tonight.
That's true.
Just us.
We're taking over their spot.
Maybe there's other whiskey tubers on tonight. I don't know. But I reached out to David and said, hey, we're not going to make a habit of this. Just wanted to let you know. And he said, oh, that's fine. We're not going to be on tonight anyways.
Yeah.
Kira's got a 4-day Thanksgiving hangover. He didn't say that. I don't know if that's the case. But come back soon. Whiskey Tube's not the same without you both. Want to say a quick hello to Whiskey and Wine Trails all the way from Arizona. Tim Gallivan from Huntley. Great to see you online here too. One other thing I want to bring up is just going to bring it in nice and close here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize.
Bringing in the radio voice.
Yeah, this is our first live stream since September 2, I believe.
We're bad.
So understand why.
Naughty and nice, right? We're naughty, be nice.
Yeah, understand that for the first month that made sense because I did run my 100-miler in October, and so from September to October it was nothing.
Lights out.
Yeah, lights out. I was fully focused on that one thing. That was all I could do. After that, we've been traveling. We've been all over the place here. We're in the Midwest right now. We're in Chicago. Somebody rear-ended our brand new RV. That's in the shop getting fixed. And we booked this place here in Chicago until the end of the year. Now you're all caught up.
On life trails.
And so we're trying to figure out the best place to do videos in this place. And now a live stream. So excited to be able to do this and excited to have a little whiskey tonight. Maybe we should do that first. We should cork pop and pour.
I think we should cork pop, and then you guys should write in the chat what you guys are drinking today, because I'm always fascinated to learn about things that I don't know anything about, because you're always surprising me with, things I've never heard of.
I mean, just like every Advent tournament where people have submitted things, we don't know anything about anything is what we discover during these tournaments. So
also, that was the first thing when you said that. That was the first thing that I actually thought about, is how, I mean, sometimes we do a lengthy live stream. Usually it's only like an hour and a half. Occasionally we'll get in the 2-hour range, but nothing like they do. They're 3.5-hour live streams.
Well, it's funny you said that. And I don't know if David actually said that or not, but when I was texting with him earlier today, I said, look, we're only going to be on for an hour because we don't want to, get into your spot there.
Right.
And he said, well, we're not going to be online, so you can have all night. And I said, I don't know if we can do more than an hour.
No.
What do we have to say?
After a few whiskeys, I get a little silly. Which actually is not a bad idea. Yeah, which then I have too much to say. Probably.
Quick greeting there to JG and Julia K, a couple more of our friends here in the Midwest.
I was just looking at this because it looks like it should be a screw up, like a screw top. Are we sure it's a cork?
I have no idea. Okay. This is the A Overholt. This is a 95 proof Monongahela mash rye whiskey that comes to us from Jim Beam, recommended to us by our friends Kathy and Christy.
Yep.
Picked up this weekend at Binny's, $34.99.
Part of our Black Friday shopping haul.
Hey, we
She's
were
got that video. My ears are getting—they're not ears; they're Christmas trees. But I keep sitting up too straight when I do this. Ready? No, see, I think it is a twist. Maybe not.
We'll keep twisting it. I'm
gonna do both.
Keep twisting it. Something will happen.
That was nice.
That's a really nice
good
pop.
sound.
I hope that sounded as good for you as it sounded for us.
I'm not sure why I thought this would be a twist off. Maybe because we got it so
affordably. It looks like a twist off cap.
Yeah.
Nice, actually. Nice cap.
Show it. I was very confused on this one.
Great to see you, KJ from MA, our friend on the other side of Highway 20.
Yeah.
How about that?
Like it.
Rhymed a little bit.
May I have?
I do have a hat here just in case my hair gets too annoying. And by the way, I am scheduled for a cut later this week. So I know for many of you, that's the most important thing.
We've been telling
tonight.
Patrons that at some point we're going to get haircuts, but that day is not today.
I've got an assortment of glasses I've been collecting over here.
Thank you. If you've had this, let us know what you think about it.
Yeah.
I know that there has been some discussion about how when we did our video on Friday, there was another one sitting on the shelf that we did not get.
Yeah. Well, the first one that I saw that I was very interested in, we'll get into that. James Morgan in the house. Great to see you. Whiskey Burger. Cheers to you. There you go. Jim Beam Rye. What do you think so far on your finger? The nose.
Smells good.
Okay, great. We're going to do one more other cork pop really quickly, just so that these things that we're opening right now can get a little oxygen in them. We want to give them all a fair shake. By the way, I got to turn this banner on here. You may not know. We are doing a giveaway tonight. I forgot to mention. It is 4 2-ounce samples of our favorite whiskeys of the season, really, yes. But it is this road trip, and they're all very good. I promise you, they're quite good and somewhat rare. And they're not like unicorn bottles. Things you're not going to find every day. I can tell you that.
I know. Do you want to do the cork pop, and then we'll talk a little bit about the bottles?
That's exactly what I want to do. Yeah. Here we go.
We planned this.
The next bottle is Remus Repeal Reserve 8. We've heard only good things about it because we haven't heard much at all. The 2024 medley, and it's well aged. 2007. Some of the whiskey in here is from 2007.
This is the one where you I like to show it off.
Yeah,
it's always beautiful.
Show it off.
This is the one I could tell that you really wanted it.
Yeah, it's $120 we spent for this. Yeah. I've never spent more than $99 for a bottle of this product, but it's always satisfying. I always enjoy it. Some are definitely better than others. Excited for this one.
All right, cork pop number 2.
Oh, wow.
That one is good.
Thunderous.
That one made me happy.
Stick around tonight, though, everybody, because we do have big news too. We've got meetups.
Right.
Single barrel plans to talk about. Don't forget, you have to sign up for the Advent Tournament before midnight tonight. And you have to sign up for both of our brackets. Don't just sign up for one of our brackets.
I know. There was a couple of people that always sign up for me, and I feel like I'm the harder choice, and they don't sign up for Phil.
There's a big sale going on in our apparel store at the moment. Lots of things happening, and we want to tell you all about it, and even a Chicago gathering happening next week for anybody that feels like just going to a bar and having a drink with us. It's all happening next week.
Love it.
Keith J still in the hospital. Wild, man. Any idea of when you're going to be able to head home? We're all thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Christine Vasco in the house. Katie Two Cats in the house. Kathy Huey, thank you very much. You are in for the Mavis Fund, and she's in the house tonight. She is.
We fed her. We put her.
Oh, she's eating. She's staring me down over there.
Yeah, she's licking
her chops.
Yeah.
She must have enjoyed whatever you threw in the bin for her there.
Of course. But we've had her right before, like 30 seconds before. So I'm sure at any moment she'll be tearing across this place saying hello. May I have 2 glasses so I can pour these?
Of course. Mark Vasco also in the house. Cheers to you. Great to see you. And yes, hope everyone had a terrific Thanksgiving holiday with family, friends, and animals who are also family and friends.
That's true. Ooh. It's a pretty color. So
I thought you poured it bigger than you wanted to, and you're
I
poured
that one bigger, so you're gonna have that one. Let's talk first off. Katie Two Cats.
Thank you, Katie. You are in. Yes.
I think this looks pretty good. I put some Christmas lights back here to holiday it up.
Great job, Julie. We went to your mom's house on Thanksgiving, and you pilfered her lights. She just kind of went around the house and started sneaking things out of the house.
I took too many. I'm not gonna lie. When I
this
came
one is the rye, right?
Yes. When I came up the stairs, you were like, no, that's too many lights. I'm like, no, I'll put them to good use. Too many lights. Yeah. I did exactly what you said.
Yes, I am growing out my hair for a Steven Seagal ponytail, and it's never going to get to that length. No, I just kind of I grew it out while I was training for the 100, and then post 100. I just didn't get it cut.
Yeah.
And then after the 100, I just kind of, it's just been busy. We've been traveling nonstop, things with the rig. We do know that all the warranty work is done. The battery is installed. Everything's powered up.
Well, there's no hair streams here either.
There's no Hairstream trailer for me to go in. There's no head over wheels.
And apparently we only get stuff done in some sort of recreational vehicle.
I only get a haircut in a trailer. That's my rule. But no, it's getting chopped off soon. But for continuity's sake, we did record the entire Advent tournament, and my hair was long. So I thought, don't get it cut for this live stream. Otherwise, tomorrow it'll be long when you see episode 1 and you'll go,
how did that happen?
What is going on?
Yeah.
Did they record that live stream out of order somehow?
Yeah.
What is reality? What is time? And now you won't have to worry about that. Whiskey Nose in the house. What's going on? Marty, great to see you.
Marty.
Daryl, thank you so much. Here's to a great tournament. Yeah, absolutely. The tournament is 16 whiskeys.
Yes, let's talk about the tournament. It starts tomorrow.
Absolutely. These whiskeys were sent to us by the most generous and amazing people in the world, our Patreon supporters. And JT, our friend, put them all together. And Santa Paws, when we eliminate a bottle, she shows up and tells us what it was. Sometimes she knows what it was. Sometimes she doesn't. She reads the cards and says what it occurs to her to be. Thankfully, we know what it all was, and it's on the screen. You'll know everything. But Santa Paws was all kind of fun, and I hope that you guys enjoy her presentation as much as we do.
I love it. So, like Phil was saying, Advent starts tomorrow. So don't forget to fill out your brackets.
That's great news.
Oh, great! Yay! That's very exciting.
We're gonna have the biggest bash when you're back.
Don't forget to fill out your brackets for one. Very important. It's free to enter, and we can talk about we can. Still Austin is our sponsor this year, which is very exciting. So they're giving away 2 bourbons, 2 ryes,
2 cask strength bourbons, 2 cask strength ryes, and we kind of got the scoop on one of their. Well, we'll talk about that later, but a lot going on. Thank you so much to Still Austin for presenting the tournament. It's just amazing. I still can't believe that any distillery aligns itself with us in any capacity. But what can we say? I mean, they're terrific.
Good time. It's a perfect time of year.
Yeah,
I love it, and I'm so excited. They're just phenomenal. We've been loving their stuff for years now. We're gonna go visit them hopefully sometime early spring-ish. So it's gonna be a great collab, and you guys could win a bottle. So sign up if you haven't signed up. Sign up tonight.
And when it comes to the tournament, it's not lip service. We love these distilleries. The first year we tried Smoke Wagon, fell in love with it. We said, would you guys sponsor us? And they did. We didn't find out that they did because it went to spam, and it was halfway through the tournament when we learned it. But they did sponsor us. The next season was Sagamore Spirit. The third year was Bull Run. These are all distilleries that we fell in love with throughout that year.
Yeah.
And the last time here, Still Austin, we still can't believe it. We are so excited that they're on board. Jay says that he has hair envy, and Christina says it's YouTube hair magic for my hair to be short one day and long the next.
Oh, I knew she'd make an appearance.
Hey,
I'm pointing this way, but she's actually coming this way. You're in a very precarious situation.
Here she comes. Oh boy, she just ate.
All right, say hi to everybody.
This is the Nugget Mavis, for those of you who don't know.
Oh, I know. Sorry, baby. Mavis gave me. So let's talk about the Advent Tournament. It is 15 days this year instead of 25.
24.
24.
It is considerably shorter. There are no double head-to-head matchups.
Yes.
Which is good for us. It made us it means the entire season is going to be a little more streamlined, less editing for me, a lot less work, but it's totally fantastic.
Yeah, I had a great time. And what I was going to say about the Advent Tournament, which is one of my favorite things, is that because these are samples that are provided by our Patreons, a lot of the stuff we can't either get where we live, or some of the things this year I didn't even know anything about. And one of my favorite things is that, you know, what we move out of the Advent Tournament, we're like, when we're on the road, I want to find that bottle. That was so delicious. I want to do it. Sorry, am I tapping?
Yeah. It sounds like you're pounding a bass drum while you're talking because the mic is right here. I think that we need to have a proper toast to the Advent Tournament. We'll do a cheers. And
are we doing the Overholt?
Yes.
Okay.
Starting with the A Overholt Monongahela Mash.
Yep.
This is the Jim Beam Rye that we bought for $34.99 at Binny's in Chicago. That's 95 proof.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Thanks
y'all.
for coming tonight. Ooh. So you were very excited about this.
We didn't even give you any notes on the nose or anything. We were just like, let's drink something.
Oh,
wow. What is happening? Oh, I keep thinking this is my hair back here, but it's this. It's a light thing. I thought something was poking up. I'm going nuts over here. Oh boy. All right, we're gonna do okay tonight. I promise. By the way, new Bourbon Van gear in the shop, the apparel shop, and I'm gonna put this on screen because I actually cannot remember. It's 25% off everything and free standard shipping this week, which I didn't even know was going to happen. They just put these sales on the shop. So that's the new stuff. There you go.
I love it. I'm wearing one today.
Yeah, I like the way it looks.
My favorite holiday
one. So that's one of the things that I wanted to cover today. So if you're in the market for some holiday gear,
I think it'd be cute.
Right. Also, let's start the holidays. That's how we introduce the Advent Tournament this year. That's our greeting.
Yes.
So that's why this shirt. Thought I'd share that too. What else are we going to talk about?
Let's talk about this old Overholt.
Let's do it. I'm gonna get to the nose. Do you want to tell them other things
about this?
Yeah, sure.
This is your baby. I want to know what you think about it.
Ruby, honestly, she wants to know what the things on the wall are. I mean, it's like somebody kept. Yeah. We think maybe somebody hatched a bunch of golden ostriches and then
cut them in half.
Put the eggs up there. This is good. I think it's just a design element.
It is.
Yeah.
Fancier than us. We just put bourbon bottles on the wall.
Literally,
that's all we do.
The only design element in our entire world is whiskey.
So old Overholt. So what is the proof point of those? Or I keep calling it old Overholt, but it's A Overholt.
It's 95 proof.
95 proof. There is a Jim Beam quality about this.
Yeah, but it's not intense at all.
Nope. It's a very low level nuttiness. Good oak presence, though. I really like the oak here. It's quite warm for 95. I wasn't expecting like a little bit of a little hug there.
Rye spice, and it is off the neck here. It's only been open for 10 minutes now.
Yeah. I also, my first sip, I got a really nice punch of cherry, which I was not expecting. I was thinking this was going to be quite nutty, and it's not.
The rye presence here is something special, I think. The grain presence is something to enjoy. Hidden cameras.
Oh my gosh, don't say that. They're probably just watching Mavis run back and forth all night long.
Julie went to Chris Kindlebar today with your mom.
I did.
For her birthday, daughter of the year.
Or just normal daughter, probably.
You brought back with the some of the toasted cashews and pecans.
Yes.
Or pecans,
yes,
as it were. This is kind of like that. It's almost, you can't taste the nut at all. The nuttiness is almost non-existent. It's all the sweetness around it.
Yeah. I don't ever go with just the plain. I got cashews this time, but I don't think that was the right avenue for what I got. But amaretto is my favorite. And then I asked, I don't actually know what you would call it's like a chocolatier, but for specialty. Nuts, I guess.
It's the nuttier.
Nuttier.
Nuttier. So we went to the nuttier.
And he said that to get the rum pecans or pecans, and sorry, I always say pecans, and then anyway, and those outweigh the amaretto like 10 to 1. I thought they were just lights out the best thing that I had.
I think they're both awesome.
Yeah.
I love them all. There's no wrong answers. So then the nose on this though doesn't really hit like any Jim Beam rye product that I've ever had before. Maybe the Old Overhold a little bit, like the 114, just a touch.
Yeah.
But it is it tastes, it's on the palate, it's on the fringe of wanting to get rowdy.
Yeah.
But it stays very
like that.
Easygoing. Like you can tell it's on that edge. Like this rye has a bit of a, it's got a mohawk. But it's reciting poetry at the same time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the fence with getting this one because we were looking at the special edition one.
Well, we were looking at the cask strength 11 year.
Yes.
Overhold, which just
happened to be just sitting there, which was a hilarious experience at when we went to Biddy's the other day. That just the most random things that I couldn't believe, like would never be sitting on our shelves at home. We're just sitting there, and
well, there was that. There was Old Granddad's 16 year.
Yeah.
So we really were excited to get something. I could have gotten all three of those, but I told myself I'm only going to get one Jim Beam product today.
Right.
And this is the one that I just been told recently that we should check out. And so that was the one that I went with because I did want to get some other things. And $99.99 was what they were charging for that cask strength Old Overhold, and then $199 was what they were charging for the Old Granddad. Although I did see that they dropped that price, I think to like $169 maybe just for a day.
Did they? Oh, for the
Still, I'm not. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with that. It's so expensive. We've got so many expensive bottles, and honestly, this Overhold was a bottle that I was considering. Maybe this is the type of thing that could wind up on our end of year list. It's one of the reasons I wanted to try it because $34.99, something very unique, very flavorful, something we've definitely not had before.
Yep.
And I wanted to see if maybe one of these more affordable bottles could stand up really well at the end of the year, because our list is not just flavor, it's flavor, value, affordability, availability, all those things.
I know, because a couple usually I'm like the cheap date when it comes to like the things that I liked throughout the year. But a couple of the ones that were high on my list were just so outpriced, and I kind of felt bad about that. So I want to make sure that we get some affordable bottles that really kicked butt this year too, because there's so many.
I have to say, I'm enjoying this very much. The flavor profile, it's going to take some time to sift through it, but it's a bright red cherry, a lot of almost like a candied cherry, vanilla, and beautiful oak here. But the rye is the thing. The rye grain is very unique. This Monongahela mash, there's something about it that's super different than anything that I've experienced in a Jim Beam product. And this rye is very nice. I love that flavor. The spice and the sweetness hang around. They just kind of mingle on the back end there on the palate. And the finish, it's an extended amount of light cinnamon, and that sweetness, the cherry really hangs around for a long time on this whiskey. Real solid whiskey. I'll say this, Old Overhold 114 is my favorite Jim Beam rye to date. This is my second favorite. And that's, I know that's a,
we almost bought the 7 because I know that you really like that. And I mean, that's just such an easygoing, but everyday, inexpensive, but this really outshines it.
Well, you're talking about the Jim Beam Black, the bourbon? I'm talking about just rye, just Jim Beam branded rye. Old Overhold 114 and this Monongahela mash here, Overhold. Those are my top 2 right now.
Yeah.
I know so many people will say, you're crazy. The new Knob Creek rye is great. And, just regular Knob Creek rye has never really been my favorite, but this Old Overhold brand, above the bottled and bond. That 100 proof doesn't do much for me. Yeah. But the 114 and this one really do. Hey. Come on now. I knew this was going to be a problem with the cat. Paul's feeling good. He thinks he's going to get 2 in my bracket. Rooting for you, Paul.
Paul, what is your record now? How many do you usually get out of the first? The first. We haven't looked at your brackets, so we don't know.
No, we haven't really looked at any of the brackets. We kind of want to be surprised.
I love being surprised. Plus, I don't really understand the scoring of it, so
it's each round is it goes up by 2. So it's 2 round, 2 for the first round, 4 for the second round, and goes up from there by 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, this nose is getting better and better. Now there's a real dry wood presence on it.
I know. I'm liking this. This is really good. And I really kind of like the bottle.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a medicine bottle, like more medicinal. So
it's a very sharp looking bottle. I like the style of it a lot. Wanted to share one other thing that I'm thinking about right now before I forget. Actually, two things, and it concerns some gatherings that we're going to have. Going over 10 and just 8 matchups. Well, first time for everything. So next week, Monday, I think it's the 9th. I'm going to be there. I don't know if you're going to go yet. We're going to go to, I'm going to go to Carrie's Bar on Devon. If anybody in Chicagoland wants to go hang out, have a drink. They have a solid whiskey list, solid beer list.
They do for being kind of
just a small
like
bar.
A small, like, hole in the wall bar.
Well curated.
So well curated. We actually talked to the bartender the very first time we were going because Phil made the comment like,
wow, nice job.
There's not a ton of stuff there, but what they have is like really good.
Yeah. Anyway, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock is what I'm planning to be there. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, it's no big deal. Just going to go have a drink. And if you want to hang out, we'll hang out. Carrie's on Devon. If you want to know more about that, you can email us, thebourbonvan@gmail.com. And then the other thing is for our Patreon community only, we will be gathering January 17th in Charleston, South Carolina. And so it's open to all Patreons. We will share a lot more details in the very near future, but just wanted to mark your calendars, January 17th. We hope that as many of you can make it as possible. We've already talked to some of you that we know are in the area, but if it's your first time hearing about it, mark your calendar. Let's make this happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're actually going to be picking a single barrel at a distillery that day, and we are not going to get into that just yet, but it'll be a nice big gathering for the whole crew. Really looking forward to that.
I know. It's going to be a blast.
And that's it. Now back to the whiskey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the things. I should have made a list tonight. Good grief.
I know. Do you want to talk about the bottles that we're putting in the giveaway? That's kind of important.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So as you know, this season, we've had some favorites that we've talked about. One being this Lucky 7 Frenchman bottle right here. So that will definitely be in the flight.
I can't speak highly enough of it.
It's good.
Almost gone already. And I know that we said we were going to get a backup, and we were just there, and I feel like we wanted to get other stuff. Like I didn't want to just get that. So we moved it aside. But now that I see how much we've drank and we've shared with other people and how much they're enjoying it, now I'm like rethinking that we're going to have to do another trip back to Vinny's.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to happen anyway. The other one that we shared this the other night. We shared a couple of different samples of various whiskeys with you, me, and a couple other people. And this bottle just came out right on top of everything. It's Bardstown's collaborative series, Amrit, straight rye whiskey, finished in Amrit Indian malt whiskey barrels, blended with straight bourbon whiskey, 110 proof. Absolutely stellar. This is such a good whiskey. We are all in love with this one.
We picked this one up in Indiana, right?
Yeah, I dug through a series of boxes until I found it. I knew it was going to be there. I knew it was there. I talked to the owner, and he said, "Yeah, go ahead and dig in." And so I was like, "All right, I saw a couple of Bardstown boxes. I was like, I'm going to find this in there." Went in there looking specifically for that. Absolutely thrilled to bring that home.
Yeah.
And so the Frenchman and the Bardstown Amrit, and then this guy, nope. Where'd it go? It's behind me, I promise. This one here is a crowd pleaser. This is Cedar Ridge American Single Malt Whiskey. This is the quintessential. This is a single cask, 118.3 proof. It's Merlot finished, and I love this whiskey. I think if I had to pick like one product so far from this trip that has blown my mind, that's changed the way that I think about whiskey, it's Cedar Ridge's quintessential single malt. But this particular bottle at 118 proof, Merlot finished, oh man, there's so much flavor here. You do not want to miss out on this one. So that's the first 3 samples of 4.
You, I mean, to kind of paint a picture of how much you really enjoy that you are enjoying Cedar Ridge, we made a special stop there specifically because we had heard such good things. Also, they have great food. But we had heard such good things, had great food. And that's our third bottle that we've purchased in 2.5 months.
Yeah. It's great.
I mean, we still have the other bottles, but I'm just saying, like, we've enjoyed one, and then we found the cast strength, and actually one is gone. So,
and the fourth bottle is dealer's choice. You get to choose from these whiskeys. So we will be in contact to determine what the best one is that you would like. We've got New Riff Sherry Cask. We've got the Senator Barrel Proof Rye, which we love.
The Bloody Butcher from Whiskey Acres.
Oh, and that's fantastic.
We picked that up from our meetup that we did in Illinois.
So we will let you choose what's going on. Gertie is a cat. Carrie's is the best. We hope to see you there.
Yeah. We also have a whole bunch of single malts.
This one here.
Yeah.
Kim, you are in South Carolina. A couple who always look forward to spending time in Charleston.
Nice.
We will see you there. We can't wait. CPA whiskey. Didn't see you before. It stinks being a CPA. We have a friend that we don't see for the first 5 months of every year.
I think we don't see her for 7 months or 8 months out of the year. It's just a crazy gig. So kudos to you.
Yes. You got Kim there. She's in.
Yep.
You are in, Kim. Thank you very much. This rye is very good. That cherry is hanging around, but it's it's like a rounded cherry. It's bright fruit, but there's that rye spice underneath. Man, what a balanced whiskey. This is great.
I'm going to move on to the Remus. I'm excited to try this. Remus is kind of your baby.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I do love it.
Kind of smells like marshmallows.
You already finished the rye?
No, I just moved it aside.
Okay. All right. You do that a lot on live streams. It's been a while since we had one.
I know.
Dating back 3 months exactly to the day.
So that I can go back and revisit them at the end of the night.
G-Man in the house. You just missed me telling everybody we're going to be at Carrie's on Monday night. I hope you can make it.
Yeah.
John Shank, good to see you. Paul P, you are in. Thanksgiving leftovers are better than the actual meal. My mom sent us home with a lot of desserts.
We had a lot of desserts.
And it was amazing. Big shout out to my mom who's now watching right now. Thanks for Thanksgiving dinner. It was terrific.
I saw my mom today, and I had lamented the fact that we didn't take any turkey. She asked on the way out the door, as you do, package up all the stuff, and I said, we don't need any turkey, it'll be fine. And then the next day I was like, man, we had all the sides, like we had the desserts left over. I took the taffy apple salad, not a salad,
just because it doesn't have lettuce in it doesn't mean it's not a salad.
And all the fixings and stuff, but we had no turkey. And I was like, and there was so much, especially your mom had so much left over.
Yeah,
but oh well.
The smell of this is remarkable.
Yeah,
we're smelling Remus Repeal Reserve batch 8 right now, 101 proof. This bottle was $119.99 at Binny's. Most expensive bottle of Remus Repeal Reserve I've ever purchased.
Yeah,
by far.
I also want to make the comment about the leftovers. I do agree. I love a turkey sandwich at the end, but I'm more of a fan of the sides at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, my mom in our family we always do ham
and turkey.
I'm a ham fanatic.
Yeah. But the stuffing and the sweet potatoes, and your sister-in-law made very not good for you broccoli dish that had probably Velveeta, but some sort of cheese in it, and then the breadcrumbs that go on top, and then I haven't had that.
Those weren't breadcrumbs; those are Ritz crackers.
Could be Ritz crackers. Probably was Ritz crackers.
I
haven't had that in probably 15 years, and when I saw that get put out, I think I squeaked a little bit.
Yeah.
And
it was uncomfortable.
And then we high-fived.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that was so good.
G-Man, we're talking about carries from 6 to 9-ish in that neighborhood.
Oh.
If you show up at 8:45, I'll hang out for a drink or two with you.
You've been known to stay later.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever shut down I've never closed down carries, but the first time for everything.
What time do you think it closes? Is it 2 a.m.? Everything back home closes at 9 p.m.
You know, one reason we love carries is because the bar cat, Mel, he hangs out and it's just fantastic to be around because he's sweet, but he doesn't take any guff either.
No, you can't just be like, we're gonna. I take a lot of guff, but the first time I met him, I came in and I wanted to do the and you could tell right away he was like, You gotta earn the pets.
Yeah.
Got to be chill. You can't want it too much. All right,
Mark, I'll say that 850 for the Remus 5, 6, and 7 is absurd. The 5 is very, very good, but the 6 and 7 were fine. They were good quality whiskeys, but they weren't 850 worthy for those three. They do have great, comfortable chairs there. Oh, this is okay. The Remus is awesome. I didn't even sip it yet.
Drink? Oh,
no. The nose on this is incredible.
I just think that there's like a marshmallowy quality to the nose, like kind of fluffy, kind of sweet.
Rich,
very oaky.
Tim, we were not able to make anything work at Delilah's. All the times that we were looking to go there, either something was happening there already, special events with the holiday season and stuff. And we were going to try and do something on, was it the 10th? But the timing just wouldn't work out in any other capacity.
Yeah.
I would still love to do that, but Carrie's is kind of the primary for us for right now. That's the one that that's the one we've been able to just kind of throw together. But haven't done it. We're not going to, I don't think we're going to be able to pull together anything official besides just a, hey, we're going to the bar. You want to join us type of thing.
All right. Let's, I was going to cheers you again.
Yeah, let's sip this thing.
Cheers to the holiday season. Start of the Advent tournament.
Let's start the holidays.
Cinnamony.
Oh, that's some of the driest oak I've ever tasted.
It lingers like, oh yeah.
Not Harry Carey's. It's just called Carey's.
The oak that you said dry oak, and you nailed it, because the back of that sip, like the roof of my mouth is like quite dry, very almost like you ate some wood or something like that. Like it's pretty wood. Like it is in
the
there.
inside of my mouth does feel like it's coated in sandpaper. Everything is suddenly rougher.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good thing. Wow. Yeah, the Remus 8, $119.99. Sounds like everybody's seeing it for the same price. I'm glad to hear that, because I really was like, man, Vinny's usually does really good on the prices. I was worried that, like, am I overpaying for this thing? Given the flavor of this and knowing what everybody else is paying for it, does make me feel a lot better, because this is great.
Dang, this is good. Sorry. This is really good. And I can never remember, because I'm terrible at this, but I think Remus is the brand that I always say that it's not the one that's not my favorite, but I think every Remus I've had, I've really liked.
8 and 5 are the ones that are so good, but we've never had one that we didn't like. Batch 2 was great too. Yeah. That was the first expensive bottle we ever purchased.
I'm trying to think of like what the one is that I always, it's kind of like my stouts and my porters.
You're thinking of Malort.
I don't hate Malort. I mean, nobody likes it. It's just, I just don't think it's a punishment.
Hair shrunk an inch.
Ooh.
If I keep drinking it, maybe I won't need to get it cut tomorrow.
Or maybe it just grows a little bit longer, and pretty soon you will have that 90s ponytail.
No.
You do have like nice curls going on right now.
That's natural.
Yeah.
I don't style it at all. I put some goo on it just to flatten it, and that's it. I just wash and go, baby. The Malort, actually, well, you haven't had any Malort since we've been here yet, have you?
No, because I'm not a glutton for punishment. I do not need to start the evening with a shot.
I like to wake up, have a little Malort with my coffee. No, we had some at the Green Mill not too long ago, 2 Fridays ago.
I felt like I walked into something too, like, because I was late.
Julie happened to walk in just as JT and I were finishing off our Malort shots.
Yeah, like the glass was coming down, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?" Very guilty faces, and then another breath said, "I got Malort." And I go, "Did you get my drink at least?" No.
I didn't want it to get too warm.
No, I appreciate that. That's
there we go. For the barrel-aged Malort. Thank you, Chad. Absolutely. We're going to make that happen.
So funny.
Carrie's actually has a bunch of Malort behind the bar. It's Malort bottles with like neon colors in it. I never know what that is. I'm terrified of it, but I haven't asked yet. Maybe this Monday we'll find out.
They also have some really nice gear, like Malort signs and stuff. Like hanging posters on the wall that are like really funny.
There's some good stuff. Yeah.
I love it.
You know what? I'm just going to here.
No.
Let's get dealing with it. Let's do this.
Are you bothered by it?
The hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick of pushing it out of my face. I should style it so I don't have to push it out of my face. This is great. It's tongue tingly. I don't know if I would call it spicy. This is a Remus Repeal Reserve 8, and it's tasty. It's dry, but the oak presence there is something else. I think we're going to have to spend some more time with this one because it's hard to identify the flavors in this blend, but what's here I like a lot.
Well, I was thinking that, right, I mean, neck pour, right? So right out of the gate.
Welcome to Lord Chat.
Yeah. Chicago. Do our thick Chicago accents. But considering that it's a neck pour, I am in. Like, I thought maybe it'd be like a little spicy. It might be a little proofy. It might be a little, off-putting.
Only 101 proof, and that's one point higher than all the other ones. This is fantastic. Almost as good as Farrah Fawcett's hair. You see, Jay knows the way to make a guy feel good about himself.
Yeah,
makes me feel special. Tonight's the night you fight your dad, my lord. Miracle Martinez wants to know if we're gonna stop at Still Austin. Indeed, we will.
Yes.
Not only will we stop there, but we are trying to pick a barrel there. We want a single barrel there. And we're trying to put together a gathering there as well. And we just started talking to them about that a couple of days ago, Wednesday, in fact. And they were very open to the idea, and they've been really awesome to deal with in every capacity. How many distilleries aren't awesome to deal with?
Great.
They're all great, but Still Austin's a special group of people over there. And yeah, we can't wait to get there. We can't wait to make a pick, and we're going to make a big deal out of that between Charleston, Austin. We're going to be in Kentucky in a couple of weeks, but we have no idea what we're going to do. If anybody has any ideas on a good place to meet up in Kentucky,
I'm sure there's a few.
There's a few, yeah, but we're going to go right through Louisville. So we could use any recommendations that you've got.
I think for the Still Austin, I'm trying to remember the calendar, but I feel like it'll be sometime in
first week of March. I think.
March-ish is what we're aiming for.
Sometime in March.
March. But we don't know the exact time. I mean, everything's we've got things planned, but it's kind of all up in the air.
I mean, the very beginning of the trip all depends on whether the RV is ready to go. It depends on the weather, if we can move or not. And it depends on the route that we'll be taking to get everywhere that we have to go. But we do have a rough idea of the route, and definitely excited to hit the road again. We are excited to find some warmth. 16 this morning when I woke up.
I was out there like a real trooper all day.
Or was it yesterday? It was 16 degrees. It was so cold, I forget. My brain stopped working.
I have what I lovingly call my Chicago coat, and I didn't bring it because it's too big. But my wonderful friend Beth lent me her coat, and today I was just like singing her praises out there when I was like at the market and stuff, at the Christmas market, because at some point I think I took my gloves out to like film something and take a photo, and
they stopped.
They like tingled for like the next 20 minutes. Like it was really kind of cold. I'm just not used to it anymore.
Next weekend it's supposed to be, this coming weekend it's supposed to be back up to 43, I think.
Perfect.
Heat wave. Because it's
gonna feel great. We're gonna not be. It'll be like when it's St. Patrick's Day and it gets to like 50 and we're all wearing shorts.
I need to run 4.5 more miles to get to 1,400 miles for the year, and then I can shut it down. But I want that 4.5 miles, and I'm not going out in this stuff. You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's funny.
EJ, great to see you. Mauricio in the house, great to see you. He says Blue Corn is around Chicago now. I'm excited for that. The new Blue Corn release, the Still Austin Bottled and Bond. It's supposed to be a full year older aged. So last one was, I believe, 4 years. This one's 5 years.
Gotcha.
That was one of my favorite bottles. You know what would be nice is if I was able to compare last year's versus this year's, but it's already gone because it was one of my favorite bottles, and it's gone. Yeah.
We'll just have to rewatch the video. I'm sure we did a video on it and just see what you said about it. And
probably
then
did 6 or 7 videos on it. I tend to get hung up on a thing and I just talk about it forever. Mauricio, we were just talking about, and for all of the rest of you from Chicago who haven't heard, we're going to be at Carrie's on Monday night from 6 to 9. They don't know. We're just going there to hang out. So if you want to meet up, have a drink, Carrie's on Devon.
Yeah. And it's not cash only. We've gone to more places that are cash only in the last 2 weeks than probably the last 10 years.
Well, that's why I didn't get a haircut previously. I went in and they're like cash only. And I was like, oh man, I got to go get some cash from my ATM.
Yeah.
I was pointing at you when I said
I know, I have your ATM. Yeah.
CJ Miller in the house. And
happy
CJ's
birthday.
The 13th Connie. Oh boy. Still having to meet up this week. We are going to Carrie's. Yeah, you probably here for that. Carrie's on Monday night. Just going to meet there. Carrie's at Devon from 6 to 9-ish, hanging out, having drinks.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. Here's to CJ.
Happy birthday. I love birthdays.
Hey, DK Tugger's in the house. What's going on, Doug? Good to see you. David Babcock, Ogre Lounge.
We've got some Oregonians popping up.
Well, I mean, it's getting to be post work time there, and it's our job to make sure that we ease them out of their work day on a Monday, after a holiday weekend, directly into the next weekend.
Yeah. Well, I always make the joke, like when you're 20 years old or whatever, 25 years old, you like wait, and I mean everybody makes a joke. It's not my joke. That you like wait till 8 p.m. to make plans and then you go out. But as you get older, it's like if you're not out the door at 5 p.m., there's no way that
my plans have to be made at 8 a.m.
Right. And I was we were watching, like, I'm sure sports right before this and making dinner because we can do that now. And I thought, wow, waiting like to 7 p.m. because normally it's 7 p.m. here, but it's 5 p.m. by us. I was like, that is a long time. I was like, I just gotta sit here and wait. Like, no instant gratification that my day closes up and I just get to go right into it.
No, no, the waiting is the hardest part. Tom Petty.
Oh,
yeah.
Also, I was gonna say, like, he used to always be our wake up song
because it's wake up time.
It's wake up time. Yeah. It was the best.
A little bit on the nose.
Yeah, I loved it.
EJ says that they were at the Bull Run tasting room in Carlton. Oregon, of course.
Carlton.
Says they have a 19-year aged bourbon that's amazing. 16 years initial aging with another 3 in Pinot casks.
Nice.
I hope you saved some for us. Big Vic.
That's a special tasting room too. I love that little area.
Yeah, it is. Good to see you, Big Vic. Teresa Martinez. All our West Coast friends showing up tonight, and we're so happy you're here. If you want to know what we're drinking.
And you're not late.
You're not late at all. What we're drinking is Remus Repeal Reserve Batch 8, 101 proof. Delicious so far is what we're finding. It does have a spice that builds. The proof is there for 101 proof, but that's great. That's great whiskey.
I love it.
If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. Jeff's right. Yeah,
it's true. Even like today or yesterday, we were talking about potentially going to go see some a jazz artist.
Yeah.
And he's playing holiday music this time of year.
That's right.
It's like every Monday. And we had made a date, hadn't put it on the calendar. And then I backtracked on it because we may not be here for that. But it's like until it gets on the calendar, that's it.
No. No, the first thing that I added to the calendar for the new year is January 17th in Charleston, South Carolina, where we're meeting up with our Patreons that day. Don't miss it, everybody. Lots of details coming. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun year. We're trying to do a lot more of that stuff. Meetups, of single barrel selections, of just making ourselves available to hang out because we have the opportunity with the new rig to do a lot more travel than we did previously and cover more ground in a comfortable way with the cat and for us too. So excited for a lot more this year. Had another topic I kind of want to discuss.
Can I pour another drink? I'm putting that aside. You know how I like to keep a little bit for the end. I
have a Whiskey Acres glass for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Put anything you like in it. It's a glass.
I can't. I'm sure that I tasted yours, but I don't remember if I had my own glass of the Bardstown, and that's what I'm going to drink.
By all means, Bardstown Amrit, absolutely spectacular whiskey. So what I wanted to do, and I'm going to share this screen if that's all right with everybody. Is that all right with you, everyone? Let's see. Because I think it's a discussion piece. The Bourbon Van leading the way with discussions during a live stream. Let's see here. What am I sharing? That's the one. Have you... I'm going to reset this page here. I want to make sure that I don't want to spoil the lead. Here it comes. We're going to talk about the top. Oh, DK Tucker is in Seal and Charleston. Yes. Can't wait. This is going to be the biggest Bourbon Van meetup we've ever had based on the early returns of the discussion that we're having tonight. And,
I hope so.
And some of the messages sent. So very, very, very excited for that. You are in for tonight's giveaway. And let me go ahead now and share this screen. I'll try and click on the right one. So far, I have not. Here it is. This is the Whiskey Advocate Top 10 list for the year. They've released their first 3, numbers 10, 9, and 8. I wonder if anybody, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's always interested in this list. And I don't always buy that it's, you know, just selected by them. It sometimes seems like it's influenced by other things. Like sometimes it seems like maybe they're getting, I don't want to say paid for it, but they're getting influenced in order to say some things. But a lot of the time, though, you're seeing some of the best bottles of the year on there. And so I think it's an interesting thing to discuss, at least. And I'm curious what your thoughts on it out there are in regards to previous lists. How much do you buy into this type of thing? And what do you think of where they're at currently?
Do you actually, read them and purchase based on the recommendations?
Yeah. How much do you trust these things? Let's start with number 10, which is probably the one that's going to be the most familiar here. It's Bernheim's Barrel Proof A224. And thank you, EJ. Gas money for future travels.
Thanks, EJ.
That's very nice of you, and you're in for the giveaway.
He's like, as long as that's the last $10 to get you back to Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. EJ says, get back here. Let's meet up in a McMenamins already. Only interested in that list to see how wrong it is. I wonder, we have not tried Bernheim since the initial release. I liked it a lot. But let's be honest, we haven't bought a ton of those really high test barrel proof Heaven Hill whiskeys. Just because at some point they stack up, and we buy things generally that we're excited about that we will go through fairly quickly. Whereas an Elijah Craig barrel proof, I don't know if we've ever finished a bottle. I think the ones that we finished, we bought more of, and they were early on in our journey. These days, we have so many batches that it's not something that we try to invest in. Not that it's an investment anyways, because you're drinking it, but just we try to get some idea of, do we like these things, and does it make sense to buy these things? But we try to share things that are unusual that you may not see elsewhere. And so we have not tried this Bernheim, but we're curious to know, did they get that one right? What do you guys think? Have you tried that? James Morgan says, been asking around if you get a Four Roses single barrel limited edition 2024 for $240 or hold and wait till January. Man, those limited editions are really good. I don't remember exactly what we've paid for them in the past, but man, I don't know. Some of the thing about those single barrels is sometimes you get a Four Roses, just a proper regular single barrel in the squarish bottles, the rectangle bottles, and they're delightful. And I know that Oregon has one on the shelf right now. Ben South Liquor, I know for sure, has one, and it's the latest state pick. It's the state gets a pick every year. And they're always so good. And they're $70 or $80, I think, something like that. I would take that over the limited edition because I know it's going to be great. And then I could buy 3 of them. It's just my opinion on that.
I think we've gotten one limited edition in the past.
We got 2. The first one was great. The second one was not as good as the single barrel that we got that year from the state of Oregon.
That's right.
JG only gets his recommendations from the Bourbon Van, and I don't blame you for that. I think that's really smart. And somebody says here that they do have this one. Mr. Ritchie says he's got the Bernheim Barrel Proof, and it's really good. Yeah, the one batch that we got, the very first one that was released, I think it might have been 223, A223, or 123. It was an odd number that year. It was great.
I feel like we've done some 5 sips, or people have sent us samples of it, like different ones throughout the years. But yeah.
G-Man is, by the way, suggesting Lexington, Kentucky, the distillery area, for a meetup, or for a gathering at least. Pepper and Barrel House, feet away from each other in bars to meet up at. Pepper, I believe Julia Kay told us that she was there. I think it was Pepper, had 4 distillery cats. So that kind of immediately puts it at the top of the list for us.
Love it.
Whiskey Bunker, this is kind of where I'm at too. Bernheim in the top 10 seems like a stretch. And I haven't heard anybody talk about it this year. Granted, we don't watch a ton of Whiskey Tube. We produce what we can. We try to engage with other channels as often as we can. But when you're producing a ton of content, it's hard to watch a lot of content. The last thing we want to do is copy anybody else. So we don't really see that much. If it doesn't show up on a feed somewhere, we don't think that much about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Mauricio says Benny's did the 2 episodes on their podcast last year. We've been thinking about doing that, trying to drink through as many of them as we can.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw a list of the top, was it 20 dive bars in Chicago?
Oh, that would be so fun.
It was 14. I think it was 14 dive bars, and I was like, I think that's a video. Let's see if we can hit them all in one day.
I also wanted to make a note, because I said this, our friend JT sent this to us, that the article said it took you 82 minutes to read. 82 minutes to read the article, but only because each dive bar has its own distinct stories and spin-off stories involved in them.
Who wrote that? Do you remember who wrote? Does anybody know who wrote that? The top, I think it's 14 dive bars in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a sort of a local.
We need to get started though, because we're not gonna be able to do 14 in one day.
I mean, don't quit before we started.
We'll rent a bus. How about we'll just rent a bus?
That's an amazing idea. I love that idea.
We are taking hop-ons.
We're bringing hop-ons. You're going to get some hop-ons. The other Four Roses single barrel proof at Rose City Liquor in Portland for $99. That's a solid value.
Yeah.
Did anybody get to Westmoreland Liquor in Portland to get the Bull Run that we've been hearing so much about? The single barrel that was 2 barrels combined. One was aged in Nocino walnut liqueur barrel, and the other one was aged in a maple syrup barrel. I want to know a lot more about that.
Yeah.
Going to Kentucky the first week of January, it's tough to know at this point. It all depends on whether or not the RV is done, if we're going to have to sprint to Charleston, or if it's going to be a nice easygoing trip. But it's going to be sometime in the first, I would say between the 5th and the 12th of January. That's my best guess at this point.
Yeah. And we'll post on Patreon as well. So
yeah. Dive bar hopping. Yeah, I think it'd be great. We actually did that Wednesday night. We just wandered. We hit as many dive bars in the neighborhood as we could.
Oh yeah.
Thursday was a little bit of a crusty wake up call Thursday morning.
Well, we had lived here for so long, almost 10 years, and we're basically where we're staying is basically where we used to live. And we realized we had never gone to any of these bars. We always go to the same ones. And so Phil had this idea, like, let's just try all of these up. And I thought they were really good. I mean, there were some that were definitely better than others.
Yeah.
I liked Whiskey Girl. I thought their old fashioned was probably one of the best ones that I've had in a very long time, outside of the ones you make.
The Whiskey Girl Tavern, solid whiskeys, but I thought unless you've got something on the happy hour menu, a little pricey, and also I did not care for the vibe in there. Much too bright, too much.
You did want the light to come down.
I like a dark ceiling, dark walls. Yeah. And it's not a dive bar; it's just a bar. I guess.
Yeah, it was just
not fair to call it a dive bar.
Yeah.
Jeff the Creed. There you go. That's I don't know anything about that distillery, but I would go there to meet the four cats.
Yeah, that is really cute.
Okay, so that was the first whiskey was Bernheim. That was number 10 on Whiskey Advocate's list for the year. The other two definitely. This one here, I don't think that there's any arguing that this has to be on your end of your list if you include value at all.
Yeah,
and as a part of the discussion, they did not have to release that whiskey at that price.
Exactly.
That exact same whiskey, without changing anything else about it. They could have charged $99 for that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And whether you tried it or not, like whether you had been able to try it beforehand or knew anything about it, you'd buy it because it's Jimmy Russell and it's a special edition.
Right.
But they charged $49.99 for that bottle. And that was, I think, one of the classiest moves in whiskey this year.
Yeah. And not only the price point is fantastic, but it is delicious. That first sip that I had, Wami with that first sip, he did. It was so good. And
it's one of the few whiskeys that we bought too, just because we saw a second one on the shelf and we thought that we have to buy that.
Yeah, it's such a good value.
We weren't really hunting it, but I asked everywhere we went, hey, do you have this bottle? Just out of curiosity to see what they would say. Most of them had it behind the counter or said that they'd already sold out. And I didn't buy them. I was just curious. But then when I did finally see it on a shelf, I thought, I like this well enough. And it's something that's, I'm in town here with family and friends. I want to share some good whiskey with them. And I know that this will appeal to almost everybody who drinks whiskey. It's just a slam dunk. And it's something so fun to share, to tell a little story, talk about Jimmy Russell. And, that's the vibe. That's the bourbon vibe that you're looking for, is great whiskey with good people and something that you can really enjoy together. That's not going to, be super expensive. just great whiskey.
Yeah, I think I said this on whenever you had surprised me with that second bottle, is that I wanted to share that with everyone because I just thought it was so delicious and very welcoming. It's a very welcoming bourbon for whether you drink it all the time or you don't drink it ever.
Yeah.
It's just so delicious. So, but I was being a little chintzy with it because I was
Didn't want to run through it so quick.
I wanted to keep it for myself, and now we have the other bottle. So we'll bring that on the road with us.
By the way, speaking of sort of special editions and in an auxiliary way, talking about Jimmy Russell, the latest edition of Booker's is basically a dedication to Jimmy Russell or something like that. I don't know the story behind it. Independent Joe in the house, everybody. We love Independent Joe. If you're not following him, if you're not subscribed, you should be. Great guy. But that Booker's, I'm very curious about it, and it was on sale at Binny's. It was just sitting on the shelf.
Just sitting there.
$80 is what they were charging. It was either 80 or 89. I don't remember what it was, but I had a $15 off coupon, so it was burning a hole in my pocket. And I stared at that bottle for a long time. And for 130 proof, I'm sure it's a good bottle at a really reasonable price. But every time we buy a Booker's, it sits because it's so proofy.
Yeah.
I put it over an ice cube or with a few drops of water in it, and I can only drink a little bit at a time because I just fall asleep afterwards. That stuff is so hot to me. I want to love it. And I want, if we didn't already have a couple bottles back home, I might have pulled the trigger on that because it is something that I like and I want to get more of. But we go through that so slowly. Sweet Cindy found the Jimmy Russell 70th at Mariano's in Gurnee for $42.99. Yeah, that's a great value right there.
That's really great. Even better.
The Russell's 10 LL//ME. I see it everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. I don't see the bottle everywhere because I haven't even looked at it. And I'll be honest, I keep seeing thumbnails for it, but I haven't watched any of them. So if anybody has a recommendation on whether that's worth it or not, or what the deal is there, happy to listen to that.
Yeah.
Julia says if we end up at Jeff the Creed, let her know because she knows some people.
Oh, sweet.
We'll be in touch. I think that's a good idea. I think we need to figure it out. Unfortunately, it's going to be a late notice type of situation there in Kentucky. We'll do the best we can. But we want to meet as many people as we can. Bloody Butcher's Creed at 120 proof. The Bloody Butcher bottle from Whiskey Acres, I can tell you that is a very fine whiskey. We just got this bottle at our meetup. When was that? November 2, a month ago yesterday.
I know.
A month ago today.
Flies, yeah.
And we put a dent in that. That's not just us. We've been sharing it a lot.
We have been sharing it around. I don't know. I feel like we have to say that, but then also it's implied.
Should be implied.
All right, hit me with number 8.
Number 8 coming at you. Number 8 with a bullet. This one I don't know anything about, but we do have some Scotch friends in the chat here today. Glenmorangie, 16-year-old, The Nectar. And again, I know nothing about this, but a 12-year-old, it's a 16-year-old. Oh, wow. And it's a single malt Scotch, $90, 92 proof. I don't believe that this one is peated. I don't think any of them, the Glenmorangie, are, but I could be completely off on that. So let me know. But the tasting notes look like things that I like. Buttered toast, baking spice. Sounds good to me. Anybody had this one? What do you think? Interested in your thoughts. We haven't bought a Scotch whiskey in a while.
No.
We've got plenty of
things. We don't really have that on. We don't really take those kind of things on the road.
No, not usually. Well, we've got McCarthy's along for the ride, and that's generally enough. Yeah. Here's David's talking about the Bookers here.
Okay.
Not up everybody's alley, but an interesting batch. See, I like that. I like an interesting whiskey, especially like Jim Beam seems to be trying different things. A lot of the things that we've tried for them, even this Overholt, you wouldn't taste it and say that's definitely a Jim Beam product.
Right.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that they're pushing the envelope. Yeah, I'm with you, Whiskey Punkard. I think that this looks like one of those bottles that you buy it with 3 or 4 buddies and you just go after it in a night. I just feel like it's just one of those bottles,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go into a $90 bottle is to split it with a group of friends and have a great time.
Yeah.
Four Roses released a single barrel cask strength every day. The bottling facility near Jim Beam is worth a stop. The is that the same? Is that the Spanish Mission style distillery, or is this something else? Because I would definitely go there for that. I love Four Roses single barrels. Matter of fact, the Four Roses single barrel is what I drink at the Green Mill.
Yeah,
100 proof, neat, beautiful. Tasty whiskey.
I will point out, I can't remember which
at least when JT's not sneaking in Malort shots.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember which place it was that we stopped at, but we asked what their well whiskey was. And it was Four Roses. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the yellow label. That was Whiskey Grove Tavern.
And I made the comment, like, that was the first thing that I drank. It was probably my gateway.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first whiskey or bourbon I ever drank was Buffalo Trace back when we lived here. But I wasn't. But I wasn't really
served you up some Jim Beam White Label way back in the day.
But that doesn't really count until you actually like start drinking it.
It was probably mixed with Coke anyway.
It was the Four Roses one, I think, is really what got me into it. I got really obsessed with it for a while.
Yeah.
And then,
Cheers, Kathy. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us. If you win we'll let you know. We'll reach out.
Yes. We know where you live.
We know where you live. Yeah. If you do find out that you won and you are someone who was here and then left, just send us a message at thebourbonvan@gmail.com or on Instagram at thebourbonvan. That's the best way to get in touch with us, those two ways.
Yep.
It's a small place. You can see the single story warehouses. Got it. Very cool.
Sweet. I thought I think EJ said something that he had seen this bottle, or he has this bottle. I just want to go back. Oh, yeah.
He was saying that the one that isn't the nectar.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's actually good news. That's interesting.
Okay.
I'm very curious about that whiskey.
Gotcha.
Anybody want to get together and go for that bottle together? Let's do it. Let's have a Glenmorangie gathering.
A Glenmorangie party?
Yeah. This is delightful. I'm still drinking the Remus Repeal Reserve 8. I can't believe how much more I'm enjoying this even now than it was earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good whiskey. I'm really happy that we picked this up. I was nervous at that $120 price point.
Not anymore.
Outstanding.
I think it's delicious.
Yeah.
Even right out of the gate. Like, I thought it was really good. I've been enjoying this Bardstown, and boy, oh boy, it doesn't disappoint.
Yeah.
There's a really nice tobacco note on this. Yeah.
Big flavor.
Big flavor.
We've been kind of spoiled the last few years with aging stores, which I think is going to continue to happen. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this down now because that's the only 3 that they've released, unless they did a 7th one while I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
But that was the 10th, 9th, and 8th. So I don't know about the rest of you, but that number 8, probably the most interesting bottle there to me. But that Jimmy Russell's bottle, definitely, if it's not on the top 10 list for pretty much everybody this year, that'd be a real shock to me.
Yeah.
What was I going to talk about? I shut that down specifically to go back to my previous point.
We were talking about Remus, sharing bottles. Who was paying attention?
Anybody?
I was talking about Bardstown. Oh, we've got lucky with bottles.
Oh, we're lucky with the aging stores that are out there.
Oh, right. So
Jim
not
Beam,
really what I said.
Jim Beam Black got a 7-year age statement. Wild Turkey 101, I believe, is about to get an 8-year age statement. We had chorizo tacos for dinner. Julie made them.
I made chorizo tacos.
And there's other instances. Even this Remus, I believe, if you average it out, it's 1 year older than the previous batches.
Yeah.
Seems like every year we're getting more. Russell's 15 is out now instead of 13, or as well as 13. Knob Creek went with the 15 a couple years ago, and then an 18, which I saw the other day for $180, and I didn't pull the trigger. Was that bad? Should I have done it? I really want to try that whiskey.
Yeah.
But those the aging stores out there, especially with, we know, whiskey taking a little dip in sales. We saw what's been happening out there. MGP down this past quarter by like a huge percentage. And now Kentucky Owl filing for bankruptcy. So there's a lot going on, and I think we're going to get more well-aged stuff. This is a weird question, but is there anything out there that you're really looking forward to them age stating it? Is there something out there that you're like, if they age state this and push the envelope a little bit, it could be a great whiskey, especially an affordable whiskey. Yeah. Think about something like a Evan Williams 1783.
Yep.
They say that that's about a 6 to 8 year blend. If that gets an 8-year age statement and it's still $20, wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, I hate to think that we're in a dip here in the industry, but it could work out in our favor, price wise. And flavor wise, honestly. We'll find out. Any thoughts? Your thoughts? Sorry, this would have been better as an interview.
Me?
With somebody. OGD 18-year barrel proof. Yeah, make it happen. Let's go.
Yeah.
I do love Knob Creek 12. And that, yeah, Russ says that's the best. We did get to try the Purple Grain. Our friend from Minnesota sent us a Knob Creek 12-year cask strength, and I've never seen 120 proof 12-year Knob Creek ever since. That was one of the best whiskeys we ever tried. 10-year Still Austin Blue Corn, 10-year Frey Ranch Rye. Absolutely. I mean, 7-year Whiskey Acres, and it's not the same thing. We're talking about,
right.
The big distilleries having tons of aged stock, and then, craft distilleries, they're coming of age. A big difference there. I don't know. I just think about Old Forester. I think about the birthday bourbon last year, that 12-year that was so bitter. The 10-year gets mixed reviews. Some people really like it. Some people don't. That could be a real problem for Old Forester. It seems like with their heat cycled warehouses, maybe their well-aged stuff is going to be not very good.
Right,
very
exactly.
Quickly.
Not where they want it.
They may have to lower the prices on the 1920 and 1910. Wouldn't that be nice for everybody? Wouldn't you like a Statesman bottle that sells for $40?
I know, then 55 or 65. I can't remember what it is now.
I mean, those are things that would be great for us as consumers. That's what I'm sort of expecting at some point. Makers could use an age. I think that there's a lot to be said for it. I just kept drinking that.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I might go back to that Remus again. That is so good.
Want me to pour you a little more?
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I like that. I'm going to go with that.
Oh, the Hard Truth. We're really getting into Hard Truth.
Elijah Craig C923, so good at almost 14 years. I think that there's a couple of brands that really pull this off well. I think Elijah Craig is one of them. I think Knob Creek does the low to mid-teens from what I've tried. Four Roses, another one that seems like the well-aged stuff is really good. MGP, obviously, most of the time they're doing it right. You never know how it's going to get blended. But 8 to 10 year Hard Truth, is that out there? Oh my goodness. Let's talk of a 21090 Corbin Cash Hazmat pick. If it's the Merced Rye, that's going to be a treat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Old Forester birthday bourbon climbing to 15 years sooner than later. Based on the well-aged stuff that I've had from them, I don't think I would even bother. I mean, I hope that I'm wrong on that. But the couple of different times that we've tried some well-aged Old Forester, I've been really disappointed, which is terrible because we love that distillery. We love their whiskey.
Yeah.
We always have some on our shelf. But who knows?
I know.
Maybe it's not.
Maybe
Thank
it was
you for
just
this, by the way.
You're welcome. Maybe it was just bad luck of the draw for us.
Yeah.
The Still Austin, the Total Wines, which
pretty much anything that Still Austin releases at this point,
yep.
I'm first in line for. Whiskey Punkard has this is a good argument here. What I worry about is legacy distilleries neutering higher age stuff like Elijah Craig 18. I agree with that in a lot of respects because right now Elijah Craig 18 is made for sort of a different type of clientele. I feel like it's made to give to your boss in the 1980s. Like you have to be Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation, giving your boss that gift. Yeah, like it's kind of that thing because it's so low proof. It's very easy sipping. 9 out of 10 times it's going to be delicious, but not every time because they are single barrels.
Right.
But yeah, if they could bring that proof up, they'd probably have something very special there. And maybe that's what we're heading toward. If they really have aging stores, they may have no choice but to release some stuff like that.
Right.
Kind of hope they do. Yeah, Old Forester tastes better at a lower proof. I think I generally agree with that, depending on how they treat it. 1910 at low proof is very flavorful. But the 1897, I'm not that big of a fan of at 100 proof. But then again, Statesman at 95 proof, I love it.
I know. I think that I actually agree with, not actually, but like I agree with that because
I do still love 1920 though. Don't get me wrong on that. I love that whiskey.
Yeah, but there's just something about their flavor profile. I think it lends itself to not being too high proof. Like with sometimes, that heat, or sometimes there's bitterness that comes from like the barrel, whatever it is. But because Old Forester's flavor profile outside of 1910 is very more sweet, desserty, like those kind of notes, that I think it does lend itself a little to lower proof.
We've had a couple of 126, 127 proof bourbons that we really loved. We've had a couple of 130 plus 134 proof ryes that were much too much for our palates.
Yeah.
We had to add some water or an ice cube just to really get them down somewhere we could recognize flavors.
Right.
There is something to that. Tim Galvin says, if you're a double oak fan, I swear by the Peerless double oak.
Nice.
Never bought a bottle of it. The bottle looks great.
Yeah.
Generally pricey. We never even been to that distillery. We didn't make it when we were down there.
I was going to say we walked past it. I don't remember if it was even
COVID closure because we needed tickets or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't open when we were there, or it was just closed the day that we were there.
Something was going on there. We couldn't make it. So maybe we'll try and sneak down there this time. I don't know that I think I've had some Peerless stuff, samples that people have sent us, but I don't recall. I have no idea. We have to check that out. David Babcock, he's defending Old Forester barrel proof, and I respect him for it. Old Forester barrel proof party at the Ogre Lounge, 6 different Oregon bottles sitting and waiting. Barrel proof is my jam. Nice. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, know what you like. I agree with CJ here. Newer 1920, not as good as the old 1920. I don't think we ever released that video because everybody else released it at the same time. But we did find the same thing. We did 3 blind whiskeys, 2 of one and one of another, that we had somebody else pour them for us, and we found the same thing, that the old one just kind of hit differently.
So good.
Robert Sheard is in the house. How do you do, Robert? Good to see you. I like nail polish. David Babcock.
I just want a side note here, because I always do that. But Robert, I just recently watched a YouTube video on Ragbri, Iowa. Ragbri?
Yeah, we talked. He invited us to be on his team for Ragbri.
I know, and I had never heard of it, which is the Iowa bike across in 7 days type dealio, and it looked like a blast. And I actually am now thinking about it.
I'd love to do Ragbri.
That adventure sounds pretty awesome. Except the video that I watched, it was like 100 degrees. It was like that summer that it was like always 100 degrees.
You never know with Iowa. It's going to be humid. It's going to be hot.
But it looked like it looked like a blast. So there was like food carts everywhere. Everyone was drinking beer. People, like the cops were like shoveling people, forward. You have to leave now because we only shut the roads down for so long.
Yeah, get a move on.
Yeah, it was a party. It was a scene, and I feel like I want to check that one. I'm going to add it to my list and then check it off right away.
We were invited to that 100-mile race on the border of Oregon and California too. After we did Crater Lake, we did the Crater Lake ride. We did a video, and they said
we were supposed to do it this next year, and obviously we don't have our bikes with us, so I'm not good. Well,
we're not training for a 100-miler right now.
Yeah, we can still do it. I feel like we can gut it out. We'll be sore, but it'll be fine.
I cannot imagine
on a bike.
Wow, I would need to get a seat like a lazy boy at this point.
Yeah, you'll need one of those old school banana seats.
Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn releases December 6th. Don't sleep on it. One of the oddest, most delicious whiskeys we've tried this year. That whiskey blew me away completely. I will keep my eyes open for that.
So when is it releasing?
December 6th. Coming right up.
Awesome. Oh, so delicious. I love it.
Sign up early if you do Ragbri. Yeah, I don't know when it is. I don't think we'll be ready for it.
I think
this year it'll probably be a 2026.
I thought it was July-ish. I'm in summer, so anyway, it sounds like fun. Maybe 2 years when on a bike for more than 2 days. Of course, the people that I watched, they had just canoed someplace up in Michigan or Wisconsin or something, and went right to it and they did it with a tandem bike. What do you think about that?
No.
Yeah, I'm way too competitive for that.
Yeah.
I'm way too bossy for that.
Rusty says, did we mention that Rare Bird 101 would also be at the Charleston, South Carolina gathering January 17? He will. Indeed. David Jennings himself will be there. It'll be our first time meeting him in person as well.
I know. We're meeting all kinds of people in person this year.
It's what we've wanted to do for so long. We finally have the time and the capability to do it. So
yeah. It's been kind of a crazy 2024. Phil reminded me that our road trip series, the Southwest road trip series that we did, was this year. It felt like 8 years ago that we went to Arizona, New Mexico,
100-day road trip. We've spent way more time not in our house than in our house this year.
Yeah.
And a big thanks to our friend Ryan for going over to the house today and discovering that one of the fire alarms has been going off and fixing it for us. We're in between renters. No one's moving in right now, actually. Richie Z's in the house. Great to see you. Whiskey Punker wants to know when we're going to run across Rhode Island just for fun. I don't know. Maybe soon. Next summer?
How far is it?
Can't be more than 6 or 7 miles.
I bet it's beautiful. I don't know. That's a. Man, I feel like that north.
Did you just raise the roof?
Northeast part of this country. That's an adventure all on its own. It's such
completely agree.
It's such a trip just to get there, to start the trip.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to put it out there that I think that we should pull the trigger on the giveaway.
Oh, right.
Let's do it at exactly 90 minutes into this live stream, which means 9 minutes and 20 seconds from now. We'll do it at 8:30 Chicago time.
Just a reminder, we're giving away a 4-bottle sample. There are 4 of our favorites from our road trip so far. What we know is going to be there 3, and then 1 of your selections, and we'll let you know the whole list that you can pick from, even the ones that we brought from Oregon too, in case you're interested in those. But it is Lucky 7. The one that I'm obsessed with currently,
the Frenchman single barrel from
Frenchman that I can't get enough of, and I passed on a second bottle, but I'm just gonna go get it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get it.
We're gonna get it.
Yeah, $64.99 to buy it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And then the second one is Cedar Ridge, which is Phil's
the quintessential Merlot finished 118.3 single cask. This is delightful.
Yeah.
We have, Julie said earlier, we have 3 different bottles of this, and this one is my absolute favorite so far. I am in love with it.
I can't remember what the other one was that we were giving him. Oh, Bardstown.
Bardstown Amrut finish.
Yeah. And the 4th is your choice. So like we've sampled the Remus 8 today. We've done the 8 Overholt. If you would like the Evan Williams 1783, which I make all of my old fashions with, we'll throw in some old fashioned mix for you.
We have.
I could send you little samples of how I make my old fashions.
That's an adorable idea. New Riff Sherry Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
That bottle was gifted to us by Kurt from SLB Drinks.
Yeah.
He said, "You have to try this. You have to love this, and you have to take this bottle with you." Those were his words. Not exactly, but it's sort of like that. So if you want to know what Kurt really likes from SLB, you can have some of that.
We also have the Senator. So if you're into ryes, a perfect thing for the holiday season, I think, and you think, because I've sent you on an errand to pick the perfect rye for the holiday season.
If you want to try the Senator, if you've been holding off on buying it because it's a little pricey, I'll be happy to send you a sample.
We've got a whole bunch.
Right.
Russ
wants to know if we'll run back home and grab the Trails M10. No, but if you're a Patreon, we believe there's something special coming very, very soon.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted.
My other thing was, the person that owns the place that we're staying, I was talking to him today, and I had opened the door, and we had done this nice little setup with the bottles and the whatever. And we've literally only been here like a month. And he was just like, wow, nice collection. And it was like, oh crap, we've only been here a month and we already have a collection. Like we are real problems.
There's a handful of bottles in the other room.
I know. I was like,
there's still some more. But that's the other one. If you want to try the 15 Stars Platinum Bourbon, a $280 bottle, if you're interested in that one, we'll send you that too. It's all on the list.
I kind of feel sad that like we can't even go a month without getting a new collection.
Yeah.
That's all right. It'll be fine.
Well, it's all about sharing and things. I want to check where we're at with the tournament. I want to make sure that people are. By the way, we've had a different number all throughout. Sometimes my numbers are higher. Sometimes your numbers are higher. Make sure you're signing up for both of our brackets. And if you're not sure if you're signed up, go to the bracket on thebourbonvan.com, find the bracket that you're curious about, and click on predictions ranking, and just click through and see if your name is there.
Yeah.
It's the best way to do it.
So just a reminder, you can fill out one for Phil, one for me. And if you win one of them, doesn't matter who, you win.
Julie's bracket currently has 230 people signed up. My bracket currently has 228. So two
people. Yeah.
You owe me a bracket. Let's go. And by the way, we're only 10 signups away from last year. Last year, we were in the 240 range for each of us. We'd love to top that. So if you know somebody that would like to try their hand at this thing, by all means, share this thing away. Let's
the link
hit
in
250 this year
in the description, or can we post the link as a comment?
Probably
so that everyone on could just quick sign up.
It's at the bourbonvan.com. So the first thing you see when you go to the bourbonvan.com. That's the best way to send people there so that they can see that there's two brackets, one for Phil, one for Julie.
Yeah.
Russ, your name is already last. That's right.
Yeah, we didn't even submit yours. We just were like,
we didn't do anything. The system recognized your name.
We're like, Russ.
No, we're so excited to see what's going to happen in the tournament. We haven't looked at anybody's entries. We actually just finished. We built the brackets out after we finished doing the entire tournament, and then when we were done, we just kind of walked away. We shared it. We didn't look at any numbers. We didn't look at anybody's stuff. So this is going to be as much of a surprise for us as it is for you.
I can't wait.
Richie Z, by the way, saying Cedar Ridge Quintessential, one of the tastiest American single malts. Completely agree. There's a tiny hint of peat on that whiskey, and it makes all the difference. It just opens everything up.
Yes.
Probabilities of winning are dwindling. Well, yeah, but the more the merrier. We need to grow every year. I really think that this is one of those things where people don't share it.
Well,
which is a problem because we need people to share it in order to grow. This is our biggest thing every year. It's the biggest thing we do. It's our biggest, most ambitious effort every year.
We make we noticed, because you can do like the analytics, like the background, like how many people, and we'll get like 900 people like looking at the link. So like looking to do it, and then they don't fill it out.
Sign up. We only send one email every year. We send one email.
That's what I want to say. Like it's free.
Time to sign up.
Oh, and my girlfriend was like, have you told them that you're like not selling their information? And I was like,
we don't do that.
I'm like, I don't even know how to do that kind of thing.
I don't even know who would want it.
But I was like, we don't sell your email. The only email you'll get is the email next year telling you to sign up for the Advent tournament.
Yeah, exactly. We send one email a year, and we still get people like unsubscribe.
I know.
It's from the one email I sent.
You did get it unsubscribed, which was really funny.
And I was like, and actually, shamefully, I think it might have been the same guy that unsubscribed last year.
Oh,
because I didn't make a spreadsheet like I should have. So now I have a spreadsheet. If you want to be off of it, let me know.
Yeah.
But we try to do the right thing, but we're not using like SurveyMonkey or Constant Contact or anything like that. It's literally just us with a spreadsheet. But this is the Bourbon Van. This is as much as it is. You go, who are you selling my information to?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know who to sell it to.
Yeah. I don't think Eric and Ruby Hart are on tonight.
They're on.
Oh, did I miss them?
They were some of the first people here.
Oh, sorry.
They might have checked out to have a pizza or something. I don't know.
As you do. Why wouldn't you? But I know she always puts a lot of thought into her brackets and how
she didn't go that hard this year. She says she didn't do
good. I would say don't overthink it. Whatever. But I'm always Ruby. I'm always interested to see how she does.
Yeah.
Because I know you want it so bad.
I got to be honest. Out of the whiskeys that are in this tournament, I believe we'd only seen I think we've only tried
a handful.
4
really?
Out of 16 whiskey. I think I added it up yesterday. It was 4 out of 16. So your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
I would not have known what to guess on this one either. So
yeah.
It's all kinds of fun though. Can I share? There's some changes to the Advent tournament this year.
Sure.
It's only 15 episodes.
Yeah.
So obviously we didn't start on the 1st or the 2nd. We will be starting tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Chicago time.
Oh, it's the 2nd already. Wow.
Yeah. So it's starting
moving along.
Tomorrow morning. We're releasing videos Monday through Friday at that point.
Yeah.
So weekdays only, no weekends. So
then you can catch up all weekend.
A lot less for you to catch up on. I think that's important. It was fun. Yeah, Marty's right. Yeah, only 4 whiskeys that we didn't recognize when we were tasting. We had no idea. But it was such an exciting time for us. But the changes are dramatic. And I'm gonna stop sharing that screen too, just to give us more space here. So fewer whiskeys, 16 total whiskeys, which means there's fewer rounds to get through.
Yeah.
Which means that you don't have to sit through so much. But we still, I think, tasting wise, our tasting notes, I think, are the best we've ever had.
I thought the tastings were great. I mean,
we're still not experts, but my goodness, I feel like this year's notes are the best we've ever done.
I feel like at some video I did say we're obviously not experts. And then I rewatched that video and I thought, hands on the hips, we're doing pretty good.
Look at you. Very impressed with yourself. Don't let the headgear fool you. She took it so seriously, as she always does.
My brother-in-law always gives me a hard time because he thinks I'm making stuff up. And I was like, I'm not making it up. I'm just telling you what I think.
Just because every bourbon tastes like oak, it doesn't mean that we're not tasting oak.
Wrong.
But there's a few other changes this year, but it was totally blind. Of course, we had no idea we were sipping until those bottles were eliminated, and no idea from start to finish. It was so fun. But when the bottles are eliminated, our friend Santa Paws, half woman, half cat,
mostly woman, half cat, yeah,
all wonderful,
all wonderful.
And so we're about to announce who's winning. We're gonna randomize over here, and we're gonna pick a winner tonight. Julie's gonna get started on that. It's gonna take us a couple seconds to do it, so let's take 40 seconds and meet our friend Santa Paws.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing this.
I wasn't going to, but I think it's the type of thing that it's so fun. 47 seconds for the rest of your life. Here we go. Check this out. If you're a fan of cat puns and absurdity in general, you're going to love Santa Paws. She brings levity to the tournament that we've never had before.
I loved it.
And if you're like, hey, that doesn't seem like you're taking it very seriously, I promise we are. We're just trying to have some fun.
Just having some holiday fun, and we love the cats too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kurt says, hey, that's my mom. True story. Absolutely outstanding. So a huge thank you to Santa Paws and to JT for putting together the entire tournament this year. And we couldn't have done any of this without them.
I was going to say, we're really excited for this tournament. It is shorter than years past, which is great. I thought it was great. I feel like you guys will probably enjoy it a little bit more because obviously we're not tasting the same thing week over week over week.
Yep.
And I mean, we're
mixing it up a lot more. There's a lot more because you're not saying the same thing for six straight weeks. It's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Or every 3 days, whatever it is.
Yeah. And the matchups were really great this year. I mean, they're always great, but I feel like they were really hand selected.
Well, that was the great thing. We had so many of you that chose to make pairings. You chose the pairing and you did an awesome job. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for everybody to see these matchups. A lot of times the proof was the same, the age was the same, or maybe the age was the only thing different. Really great matchups. Those of you who submitted whiskeys did an unbelievable job. I can't wait for everybody to see this. 64 whiskeys.
Yeah. Rusty. We have always talked about doing a March Madness type, not March Madness, but like Christmas in July. That's what it was. Christmas in July. And so maybe we'll do half and half.
January.
We'll do half and half.
It'd be like Madness. It would be never ending.
Yeah.
No, this was a really fun tournament. I loved it. Yeah, I would do it all over
again.
And
it was
I'll do it all over again next year.
I was very impressed with the selection.
Yeah, great job, everyone.
Yeah.
And now, may your brackets not make you crazy. That's a very nice sentiment because I'm going to go ahead and shut off the banner here. No more entries. It's too late if you think you're getting in now. It is time to announce the winners or the winner, I should say. And how many numbers do we have?
Let's go with 24, please.
All right. I'm going to try and do this right on the first try. 24. Give me a random number between 1 and 24.
The answer is 13.
Oh, lucky 13.
Answer is 13.
It is Chad Gazinski.
Chad Gazinski, big congratulations to you. You are going to receive this flight of 4 delicious whiskeys, and be sure to let us know or just reach out to us, or I'll reach out to you on Patreon we will figure out what that fourth bottle is that you're interested in.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that you have the full list so you can make an educated decision to satisfy your palate like never before. How about that? Some real marketing speak here.
I love it. I love it. It was perfect.
Fantastic job. And what do you think? You want to have another one?
I'm finishing up mine. I have 3 glasses here.
3 glasses, no waiting.
Just a little smidge in all 3 of mine. So
you know what? I do have a little Monongahela mash left over. Let's keep going. Didn't you just buy that bottle of 1783? Hey, we're not judging each other here. We're not judging each other here.
Yes, the answer is yes.
But we've had people over, and I'm going to
count them. Is that gone?
3 people had 2 old fashions the first and second night we had that bottle, and there have been 2 others since. So there's been 8 old fashions served from that bottle so far.
How many has
not just to us?
How many has Julie drank of those 8?
No. 4. Since Friday. It's not that big a deal.
That's all right. Oh, and technically only 3, because the last one I was like, I'm not going to finish this.
Yeah. No.
It was basically we were trying to finish a movie, and I was like...
Because it was like 1 a.m. We never stay up late on the West Coast, but here we are in Chicago. We're like, bad habits. Let's get back into them.
I also feel like because if I start work at like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock here, it's like 5 a.m. at home. And if I'm sending emails at 5 a.m., that just looks bad. So, yeah.
Okay, Whiskey Nose. Okay, Marty. Marty, our friend, who if you're not following, you should be.
Great question, Marty. My favorite old fashioned. We've made multiple.
Give us a radio voice. Let us have it.
I don't have a radio voice.
Come on.
Today at the Bourbon Van, we're going to talk about the old-fashioned delicious bourbon. Oh, anyway, I got it. I got nothing.
You just simply follow the 2-2-1 rule. Take an old-fashioned glass, put a giant rock in it, 2 ounces of 1783 bourbon, 2 to 3 shakes of black walnut bitters, and 1 bar spoon of pure maple syrup. Stir for 30 seconds. If you like an orange, just slice off the outside, drop it in there for the aroma, and then serve to the people that you love the most, and they will love you back.
And I don't even put a cherry in this one. So we do use 1783. We've also used Rittenhouse, and we've used, Makers, and we've used all the other things. But I just think 1783 for the value. 1, it makes a great old fashioned. 2, you can drink it without making it an old fashioned. It's delicious just as a neat pour. And 3, it only costs like $25 or maybe $20. I don't know what it costs. It's so cheap.
I'm back on this A Overhold, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like an old timey cola.
Great.
It's a touch medicinal, but in the best possible way.
It feels like it should with that bottle.
Man, that's a classic whiskey right there. A Overhold. Very nice.
All right.
It's 2024. Shouldn't that be your podcast voice? Who could talk like that for more than
you could
5 minutes?
Well, if I knew what I was going to say, then maybe I don't know. My voice is so bad.
By the way, big shout out to our friend Paul.
I like that we're leaning in
Paul
now.
Paul Kukul in Thunder Bay, Ontario, who recently had a little health scare and is recovering.
Yes.
Big shout out to Paul. I'm sure he's not watching. I hope he's sleeping. Get some rest, Paul. You need it.
Yeah.
We're thinking of you.
Thank you, Whiskey Nose. Thank you, Marty. I thought before I started laughing was pretty all right. You're the announcer.
I'm always impressed by you. I like both of the whiskeys that we got into tonight. That Remus 8 and the A Overhold, both fantastic. Whiskey, Marty, come to the meetup in January. January 17th, South Carolina. If you're a Patreon, we're gonna demand that everybody be there. If you're not there, we're gonna come to your house and drag you out.
I will also say that we do have a different old-fashioned recipe, but I don't really remember what it is. That it's like it has different bitters in it. It's
just typical aromatic bitters.
Yeah, and we don't use maple syrup. We use like
Demerara. We made our own Demerara simple syrup. And
I just think the maple walnut bitters.
Such a combo.
It's where
and the other one we make with
the black walnut, and the maple syrup. Yeah.
We always follow the 2-2-1 rule though. The 2 ounces of whiskey, 2 to 3 shakes of bitters, and 1 bar spoon of whatever your sweetener is, because we're not that big on the sweetness.
Right.
The other one that we've done is Maker's 46 with Peychaud's bitters and Demerara syrup. We just use Demerara sugar to make our own simple syrup.
Yeah. I have had many the old fashioned since I've been here.
Yes.
And ours is still the best. I did have a delicious one last week.
We all make the old fashioned that we like the best.
Or JT has made me a delicious old fashioned.
That's
so
true. By the way, that is a treat that you don't know about yet. That our friend JT, on the final day when we announce the winners,
yes,
and we choose which whiskey is going to go. We each choose a whiskey to go into the eggnog. Our friend JT is preparing an eggnog cocktail. He'll show us how to make it, and you'll be able to make that cocktail at home too.
I'm excited.
Yes,
it's delicious.
We've tried the cocktail.
We've tried his eggnog cocktail, and can't wait to go over there and have him make me 3 more.
Yeah, we might have a couple of dozen of those by the time the tournament's over here.
Do you know that I didn't have eggnog until I feel like you made me drink eggnog like 7 years ago.
Eggnog
7 or 8 years ago at your folks' house, and I was like, ugh, eggnog. Who would drink that?
My dad and my brother love eggnog. Both of my brothers have. I think my brother Tim likes eggnog.
I think you tempted me because you put rum in it. You're like, but we put rum in it. And I'm like, oh, rum. Sure, let's do that.
My guilty habit still to this day is that my dirty little secret is that I still prefer my eggnog with a splash of Captain Morgan's rum.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, everybody.
I find nothing wrong with that.
Bitters is an industry in itself. Absolutely. I love rhubarb bitters.
Mm-hmm.
I like those with gin, coincidentally, the right type of gin.
Yep.
There's a lot of great stuff out there, honestly. If you don't focus too heavily on bourbon, it can get away from you. You know?
Yeah.
Let's try and stay in my lane.
Yep. We've got a lot of lanes.
That sounds like a Bourbon Band t-shirt. The Bourbon Band, stay in your lane.
And then there's like a van going down the.
Now you're making it more complicated. You're giving me so much work to do. I don't want to do it.
Well, it can't just be straight type. That doesn't make any sense.
The Bourbon Van, stay in your. Okay. How about this? 2 yellow unbroken lines to signify the center of a road.
Sure.
You're not impressed.
I need to see it. I need to see the visual concept of it.
Okay.
To see if I understand it.
Bourbon or rye in an old fashioned? I like.
Good question.
I like bourbon in a black walnut maple old fashioned. In a regular old fashioned, I kind of like a rye.
I agree.
Old Forester is a good one.
When I go out and I'm getting an old fashioned, I ask for a rye old fashioned. Maybe because I started drinking old fashions with Rittenhouse. Mm-hmm. That was like for whatever reason, I loved Rittenhouse. Not for whatever reason, it's a great.
Our friend Brian was making Rittenhouse cocktails last night.
Yeah, and so
I had one.
I always get a rye old fashioned. However, went to the same bar that I got a rye old fashioned. Wasn't good. And I was very disappointed because you spent all that money.
Yes.
Not good. And then the next week we went back to the same place and I said, I'm not getting an old fashioned. It was awful last week, but there was a different bartender. So I'm like, let's get a bourbon old fashioned. And I did. And it was better. Of course, it was considered like, there was probably like 3 times as much bourbon in it than there was rye. But yeah, I feel like I'm like rye old fashioned if it's like the traditional.
Yeah.
We're not mixing up the sugars and the bitters.
There is there's a story that I'm eager to tell.
Okay. Not
tonight. It's going to take a minute to put together. But there was a bartender that we used to love here in Chicago, and he moved to New Orleans, and he made the best Sazeracs we've ever had. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to track him down because I would love to, when we're going through that area, I want to catch up with him and have him make me a Sazerac, and also catch up with him just as a person.
Right.
I don't know where he is. He's not on social media in any capacity. He's a very cards close to the chest kind of guy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hire a camera crew, treat it like a real documentary.
Nice.
Finding Sazerac. Desperately seeking Sazerac.
You probably get copyright struck on that one, or close enough. But I kind of like it.
So I think it'd be an interesting story. Man, I wish I had just disposable income or like disposable money to hire a camera crew, like a proper camera and audio crew, because I would do it for this. I think that'd be such a fun story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody tell your millionaire friends. Let me know if you talk to any.
I made that face because I just read that article about that guy who spent $6 million on a banana and then ate it. I thought, like, what a jerk. Like, just to like, anyway.
What a jerk.
To have so much money that you're just buy a $6 million banana and then you eat it.
Do you know I had a banana rack yesterday? Brian made me one of those.
Oh.
Sazerac with the banana do Brazil as part of the ingredients.
That was, I was skeptical. I'm gonna say like banana. I don't know. It can be too much.
It can be, but he
I
was
took
very
one
gentle with it.
I took one sip of that. Yeah, it should be it should be on the menu.
Some menu. It was great.
Yeah.
What's on the wall behind us? No idea.
We don't know. It's part of the apartment. I'm not sure. And they're actually very pretty up close. So they're like gold in the inside, and they're like half. We don't know.
All we know is that if they're eggs, something hatched out of them, and they're gone now. They're out there now.
Yeah.
We all should be worried.
It's more of a decorative instead of having artwork. I think it's like a type of artwork. Of course, there's artwork on all these walls anyway. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some better than others.
We have moved a lot of stuff. So Mavis, she's so good at our house. She never knocks anything over. But for whatever reason here, she just wants to kind of like
she's over here.
Do the cat thing and move it all off. So we had to take this whole thing had stuff on it. We had to put it in a cabinet. There was plants. Cabinet, like nothing is safe in here apparently, so we had to move everything off the shelves. I have to like mentally remember so we can put it all back where it was before we leave, but we had
the
to
apartment has been bedazzled.
Yeah, but we had to de-dazzle it because Mavis keeps
like those jeans with the spanglies on them.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, it's nice. No, you have to be careful around here. Mavis is taking down everything.
Yeah,
we took everything off the shelves. There's pillows on all the shelves.
I had to put pillows because she kept jumping on them, and they're not that sturdy. And not that she's not, she's tiny and little, but she's still heavy enough to bust a hole in a wall. So I don't want. We're not the handiest people, so I don't want to repair any shelving units before we leave.
No, I don't even pour my own whiskeys these days.
Anyway.
Are you done? That sounded like I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, this is the longest live stream we've ever had.
That's not true.
No.
Yeah.
It's not that true. Longest live stream we've had since September 2. I can guarantee you that much.
Yeah.
And for that, we thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah.
It was great to hang out with so many of you tonight. Don't forget, if you're in Chicagoland area and you want to come have a drink Monday evening from 6 to 9 at Carrie's on Devon. I didn't even check that they're open. Probably should have.
We'll post it.
But we will we'll post it. Yeah, we'll throw it on Instagram and we'll post it on Patreon. We'd love to see anybody who wants to come out. It's not a big official gathering. We're just going to the bar and want to hang out. So 6 to 9. Thank goodness it's over. 6 to 9 Monday evening at Carrie's on Devon. And if you are a Patreon, we will be meeting you
on the road
soon in Kentucky. We will keep you posted as much as we can. Charleston, South Carolina, January 17th. Still Austin in early March, and we're going to have all kinds of fun this year. I promise you that. And the tournament starts tomorrow. If you haven't finished your bracket, fill it out right away. It's the most important thing in the entire world. Put your kids to bed, put your dog outside. It's time to focus up.
Bring your dog back in. Then it's sent.
Right. Even if your cat's sleeping on your lap and you need to get up and get the computer to fill it out, it's okay this one time to disturb your cat so you can get to your computer.
That's a good point. Great point.
Thanks so much, everybody. And
from
wherever we are, I have a splash left. I can do it.
I know. Delicious.
From wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. See you next time.
It was fun.